Hello and welcome back to my channel Awesome Learning Children, and this is the last video from the chapter excretory system. That is, we had already done all the videos related to the system. Excretory products and their elimination is the chapter, and only the last topic was left, that is disorders of excretory system. So we are going to look through all the disorders that have been discussed in your NCERT also. So your children, the first disorder is uremia. This is the first disorder of excretory system, and in this disorder accumulation of urea in blood takes place due to the malfunctioning of the kidney. That means kidneys जो हैं, they are not able to remove the urea from the blood, and because of that the amount of urea in the blood is increasing. Okay, the function that kidney was supposed to do is not being done properly, and because of that urea accumulation of urea takes place in the blood, and this is a condition which is an alarming situation, and the patient should immediately see the doctor, because if this continues it may lead to kidney failure or renal failure. So uremia is a condition when the amount of urea gets accumulated in the blood. So immediately the patient should see the doctor. Then children, another problem or the disorder of kidneys is renal calculi, and this is actually the stones we talk about. You can see various kidney stones. Just imagine this much big stones are also present in the kidney. These are the various sizes of kidney stones. You can see the picture. Now children, stones are insoluble mass. They do not get dissolved, of crystallized salts. And which salts? Generally they are oxalates. These are the various salts which get or which form the crystals, and these crystals are not soluble, and because they are not soluble, you know, now you have done this in chemistry, that the size of crystal increases, or the size the crystal size becomes bigger and bigger due to the deposition of the chemical on that crystal. So similarly here also the crystallized salts can get bigger and bigger in the size, as you see in the diagram formed within the kidney, and they can get stuck up anywhere. You see, they can stuck up, and if they get stuck up in the ureter, it is highly painful children. It is highly painful, because now the ureter has been blocked. तो urine जो है वो यहीं पर block हो जाएगा, फंस जाएगा, and the patient is unable to pass the urine. और urine सोचो अंदर बनता जा रहा है, but because of stone it cannot come out. तो क्या होता है, pressure increases and it is highly painful. The patient has to be taken to the hospital. So this is another problem about the kidney disorder. Next children is glomerulus onychophoritis, which is actually a problem here where the glomeruli gets inflated. सूजन, okay, it is actually Hindi में बोले तो सूजन आना, glomeruli get inflamed, and because there may be some kind of infection. We are not going to discuss very deep into it, just a small introduction is shown to you. Then the major part is here hemodialysis children. Hemodialysis, you know, is a technique when the patient's kidney is not working, then the patient has to be taken to the hospital and he has to be put on dialysis. Now children, dialysis is a technique where artificially we remove the urea from the patient's blood. Artificial removal of urea from the patient's blood. It is a process of removal of urea in patient with uremia. That means if the patient's blood is having lot of urea, it has to be removed. So artificial technique. The dialyzing unit or the artificial kidney contains a coiled cellophane. Children, this is the coiled cellophane, okay, tube surrounded by the dialyzing fluid, and this coiled cellophane, you see the blue portion, it is the blue liquid, it is surrounded by the dialyzing fluid. Okay, and it has the same composition of the plasma except the nitrogenous phase. Now this dialyzing fluid, the blue portion, the dialyzing fluid has same composition as that of the plasma. It is only one thing is absent here, and what is that? Nitrogenous waste. In this dialyzing fluid there are no nitrogenous waste present, otherwise everything is similar to that of the blood plasma. Only nitrogenous wastes are absent in this dialyzing fluid. Okay children, now what happens? Blood from a convenient artery. Now pay attention that we have to take out blood from an artery. Why are we taking out blood from an artery? Artery though has oxygenated blood, but we are taking out blood from an artery because though the blood is oxygenated, but still it has nitrogenous waste in it. That is why we have to take out blood from a convenient artery. You see the arrows, the blood has been taken out from an artery and is pumped into the dialyzing unit. See, the blood is moving on into the dialyzing unit here after adding an anticoagulant like heparin. Now when this is very important, that when we are ready for dialysis, we have to give patient heparin injection. We have to anticoagulant. We have to give the patient an anticoagulant. The name of the anticoagulant is heparin before taking out the blood from the artery, because if we take out blood from the artery, we know that as soon as blood comes in contact with the external environment, it will try to get clot. It will try to form a clot because thrombocytes or platelets are there and they will do their job. But we do not want the blood to clot here. We do not want the blood to clot here. We want the blood to flow so that it moves on to the dialyzing unit. So to stop the process of clotting, we have to give them an anticoagulant. We have to tell the blood, we have to command the blood that we are taking out the blood, but you will not do the coagulation process. So how will the blood know? The blood, when the blood will see heparin, it will not form a clot. So before draining out blood from the convenient artery, we have to give the patient heparin, which is an anticoagulant. Now the blood is moved on, see, from the various tubes to the dialyzing unit. Now children, the blood is having nitrogenous waste, hai na? The blood is having nitrogenous waste, but here the fluid outside, the dialyzing fluid, does not have nitrogenous waste. So what will happen? Movement from high concentration to low concentration. So the nitrogenous waste from the blood will move out into the dialyzing fluid. And now when the blood will pass on from this dialyzing unit, and when it will come out, you see the color, we have changed the color. Now the blood is free from the nitrogenous waste. Now this blood is clean. Now this blood is free of nitrogenous waste. Okay, so where has the nitrogenous waste gone? It has been given to the dialyzing fluid. See, the porous cellophane membrane of the tube allows the passage of molecules based on concentration gradient. I told you there is a concentration gradient. The nitrogenous waste are present in the blood, but it is not present in the dialyzing fluid. And because of this concentration gradient, nitrogenous waste from the blood will move out to the dialyzing fluid. Okay. Now, the nitrogenous wastes are absent in the dialyzing fluid and these substances freely move out, thereby clearing the blood. The cleared blood, now the blood is clear. Now that cleared blood is pumped back to the body through a vein. Now remember this children, we have taken out the blood through an artery, but we are bringing back the blood into the body through a vein. But before entering the blood into the body, before making it enter into the body, we have to add an antiheparin to it. right? Because we cannot leave the patient with the situation कि भाई उसका तो blood clot ही नहीं होगा. Suppose patient dialysis करके घर गया और उसका कहीं जरा सा कट लगा या कुछ हुआ, चोट लगी, उसकी तो bleeding से ही डेथ हो जाएगी. डायलिसिस से तो फिर भी बच जाएगा, बट ब्लीडिंग से डेथ हो जाएगी क्योंकि डॉक्टर भूल गया एंटी हिपैरिन देना. ठीक है ना? तो ये बहुत ज़रूरी स्टेप्स हैं विच वी हैव टू रिमेंबर कि आर्टरी से निकालने से पहले वी हैव टू गिव देम एंटीकोएगुलेंट यानी कि हिपैरिन देना है, और फिर जब सारा प्रोसीजर खत्म हो जाए तो वापस ब्लड को वेन के थ्रू बॉडी में पहुंचाना है. बट वेन में पहुंचाने से पहले उसको एंटी हिपैरिन देना ज़रूरी है. ब्लड को ये बताना ज़रूरी है कि भैया आप वापस से क्लॉटिंग का प्रोसेस कर सकते हो. Understood? This is about hemodialysis. Okay, I hope this is clear. Then children, kidney transplantation, you must have heard about it ki sometimes patients, if they get a very good donors, they can transplant the kidney, they can give on the kidney to the other patient. See, it is the ultimate method in the correction of acute renal failures. A functioning kidney is taken from the donor. Okay, now the donor should be there, kidney should match, and functioning kidney should be taken from the donor, and it is better to receive the kidney from the very close relatives to minimize the chances of rejection. एक बात बताऊं, because हमारा immune system जो है वो our body actually has the ability to recognize कि ये मेरी body का part नहीं है. ठीक है, बॉडी हैज दिस एबिलिटी कि दिस इज अ फॉरेन सेल और अ फॉरेन ऑर्गन और अ फॉरेन बॉडी पार्ट, सो इट कैन रिजेक्ट because our immune system is very strong. It has the ability to reject it. So it is very it is said that it should be very the condition is good if the kidney transplantation is done among the close relatives, ताकि chances of rejection जो है वो बहुत कम हो जाए. Okay, so chances of rejection are very very less in the case if the transplantation is done among the relatives. So this is the donor's kidney. Both the kidneys are healthy, you see, and both the kidneys are not working. This is the person who has both the kidneys malfunctioned kidneys. So what we have done, we have taken one kidney from the donor and we have fixed it here, and we have done the connections with the urinary bladder. See, all the connections are done here with the urinary bladder, and now the patient's excretory system can work properly. So this is all about excretory system and elimination and their elimination. I hope the chapter is very much clear to you, and we'll meet in the next session with the next video of a new chapter. Okay, take care. Bye children. Have a nice day.